over the next 2 days, I am on a solo road trip driving through Northern Ireland all by myself. My journey began in Dublin, where I explored the city for the very first time. Then I jumped to the car by myself and headed out onto the open road to explore some of Ireland's most gorgeous towns and scenic spots. Now I'm making my way north to a part of the world I have never seen before, scoping out Ireland's wild coastline and wild weather. I'll be wrapping things up with a visit to Belfast, a place I have been really curious to visit for a long time. So make sure you stick around for that. Let's go.
So up until this point, we've been exploring the Republic of Ireland, but now we're going to be exploring Northern Ireland, which is technically part of the United Kingdom. So not only are we changing countries, we're also changing currencies, moving from euros to Great British pounds. I have never explored this part of the world before, but I'm excited. The expectations are high, and I cannot wait to get to Derry and see what it's all about.
So cold, and it's rainy, and it's overcast, and I am ill-equipped. I didn't pack appropriately for this. I think we have to do a mercy dash to a shop. I need to start putting on a million items of clothing immediately. This morning we're going to be exploring this beautiful city. Do you know what? I'm cold and it's windy, but it really is beautiful. The view here is kind of amazing. Now, what's really interesting about Derry is that it's famous for this incredible wall. It is Ireland's only completely walled city, and it's actually one of the best preserved in Europe. The wall was built sometime around 1613 to 1619, and it was built to protect the city from attacks, and it is incredible. So I thought we would start here by taking a little bit of a walk along the wall and then dig into Derry and find out what there is to do. Hopefully, just, you know, the breeze can let up a little bit. We are really tight on time. I have to get out of here. We have to get to our next destination. But there's quite a few things we need to see in Derry. So we're gonna do a speed round, see how many things we can see in a really short amount of time. We're just gonna hit the major sites. Are you ready? Peace Bridge. Guildhall. People's Gallery. Free Derry sign. Derry Girls mural. If you've seen the show, you'll appreciate that. I've never watched it. I was gonna watch a few episodes last night, but didn't. Washed my hair instead. Guys, I think we've done it. I think we've done it. I think we've seen / hit the like really big, unmissable, must-see spots. But now we have to get in the car and we have to get out of here because we've got a lot of ground to cover today and a few things I really want to see. To the vlogmobile. I really love Derry. I thought that was so beautiful. I would love to see it on a beautiful sun-drenched day. I think you could definitely do 2 nights there. The people are just so lovely because they want you to have a great time in their country. They're incredible hosts. I love that. I've just stopped at the servo. What do you guys call it in this country? Service station? Gas station? Just stopped and filled the car up with fuel. Now, for those of you that love a fact and or figure, and I know there are a lot of you out there, I'm going to tell you how much it costs to fill this car up with fuel. I filled up twice. Once in euros and it was 45 euros, and just now in pounds it was 31 pound. What is that in Australian dollars? I will cry when I read my bank receipt. But I think this car and the car size has been great. It's been really easy to drive, economical, just so good on fuel, easy to park, and a great size for me traveling by myself. So I recommend getting a small car if you're a small group of people.
faces, I've seen them all with open eyes. Seen Ireland's open spaces, Serengeti's sun slowly rise.
This is why we needed to beat it out of Derry so early and fast this morning, you guys. It's Game of Thrones Day! So we've made it to Dunluce Castle. Now if you're a Game of Thrones nerd like me and you absolutely love that show, this is gonna be a fun one for you. So the outside of Dunluce Castle, they filmed the exterior shots of Pike Castle, which is the House of Greyjoy castle. This is their home in the show. I believe the lovely sign that I read said the first signs of human life here date back to the early 1200s, and the oldest remnants of the castle that remain today are from the 1500s. We don't have anything that old and impressive in Australia. We just don't have anything like that. For me to be able to walk around castle ruins like this is such a treat, even if it is an ice cold wind tunnel from the Antarctic frozen tundra. It's a wee bit windy, just a little bit, just ever so slight breeze, you know? Made it to the Giant's Causeway, and I have never seen anything like this before. This landscape is incredible, and it's because of these things that you see behind me. There are around 40,000 of these interlocking basalt columns jutting out of the coastline here, and the crazy thing about it, they're real, they're natural, they're not man-made. These were caused by some kind of volcanic fissure eruption some 40 or 50 million years ago, and they look like they were carved out of the earth by humans or aliens. I have never seen anything that looks quite like this. Now this area is crawling with other tourists. This is probably one of the busiest places we've been on this trip, and for good reason. This is absolutely spectacular. I'll talk about visiting in a little second because I've got the hot tip for you, but right now I just want to have a bit of a crawl around and explore this place. It is, I don't know, it's prehistoric, it's otherworldly, it's taking my breath away. When you arrive, there are 3 different coloured trails that you can choose to take. I decided to do the blue trail. I walked down, spent around an hour down there, and then when you want to come back up, you can walk back up that hill if you really want to, or you can pay £1 and catch the bus. And best of all, it's cash or card. You best believe I paid the £1 to get my butt back up here because it's so windy and cold today. I was like, there's just no way, I don't have it in me. Now, when you actually arrive here, you can do one of 2 things. There's the official Giant's Causeway experience. I think you pay about £16. That includes your parking. A guide takes you down there, audio guides, Wi-Fi. Very hands-on. Seems very intense. If you really want to have the full experience, that's going to be you. I went for option number 2, which was you pay £10 and you're able to park here at the Causeway Hotel, and that £10 is redeemable for you know what? A cup of tea in the sky! And it is exactly what I need right now. Oh, I have never wanted a cup of tea as bad in my entire life as I want this one. And this lovely little caramel square. This is me for at least the next half hour.
You know, we're just covering a few of the basics here. There's a whole Causeway coastal route you can follow. You could dedicate days to following this thing and making all of the stops. I'm just skimming the surface is the truth of it. And speaking of that, we're on our way to the next spot. It's gonna be a good one.
Let me fly, let me fly, let me fly into the sky. Let me be all that I can be. Let me fly, let me fly, let me fly into the sky.
I'm gonna say this wrong, but we are making our way towards the rope bridge. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Then when I got here, I was feeling a little lazy and a little cold, and I was having visions of myself tucked up in the hotel bed, and I nearly didn't get out of the car. And that would have been a mistake because, hello, this is starting. Oh my gosh, I hope my little fluffy microphone cover is doing its job and cutting out all that wind noise because it is a windy old day. Now the walk out to the rope bridge is going to take us about 15 minutes, and it was a £15 or so entrance fee to get in here. Not cheap, but I think it's going to be worth it. And it did say last entry is at 4:30, and I got here at 4:15, so I have just squeaked it in. But this coastline is something else. We're on the rope bridge. We're on it. I am not scared of heights, but even this is making my legs a little bit wobbly. You gotta let me know in the comments if you guys would do this. My mum would die. She would never do this. Woo! This one was worth it. Well, this place is just darling. It's so gorgeous. As I was driving around through Ireland on this trip, I kept seeing these really traditional buildings and homes and B&Bs, but I hadn't had a chance to stay in one yet. And I thought for the next 2 nights in Belfast, let's do it. Let's have the full experience. I want to feel the history. I want to feel the magic. And I found this place. It's called Maryville B&B and Tea Rooms, I think. I'll have a link for you in the video description below. But when I read the reviews, everybody raved about it. It had like a 9.2 or a 9.3 exceptional rating on Agoda, and I was like, that's me. Everyone was raving about it. Apparently the tea rooms pop off. The B part, the breakfast part of the B&B, apparently it goes hard, and I'm really excited to check that out tomorrow morning. But it's really centrally located, easy parking, self check-in. The room is really quaint and gorgeous. It's compact, it's a great size for me by myself. I have my own little ensuite in there. Everything I wanted to experience in the last part of my trip. Time for dinner, and I'm lazy. I drove the car like a couple 100 meters down the road to get to this spot instead of walking. I'm so hungry. We haven't eaten any proper food today. And I was sneaking around on Google Maps and I zoomed on in and I saw a picture of a bao bun and I was like, I need a bao bun. I'm so glad I came here. The 2 girls that work in here, they're the cutest. They're so sweet. I was just gonna get 2 of the same bao buns and they were guiding me through it. They're like, no, get 1 cauliflower, 1 tofu, 1 this sauce, 1 that sauce. So I followed them and just done whatever it is they said. This one's the cauliflower. It's unbelievable. The cauliflower is crunchy, the bao bun is soft. Beautiful little sauce on top. Now let's try the tofu one. Both are excellent. The crispy tofu with the BBQ sauce though. You know what I love about Ireland? The banter. Everywhere you go, everyone you talk to, there's a little bit of back and forth banter. And I love it. This and an early night in that cozy little B&B. And then tomorrow, Belfast or bust, baby. Good morning, you guys. We have got the entire day together today to explore Belfast for the very first time. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the city has to offer. But right now, I am starving and I need something to eat. Let's try and find somewhere. Quite a few TikToks about best things to do in Belfast, and there are a lot of recommendations to eat here. This is a spot called Neighbourhood Cafe. It's really pretty. The fit out inside is just gorgeous. It has this really clean, simple, almost like a high-end bistro vibe to it. It's beautiful. Now the menu is pretty short and sweet and simple, but packed full of things that you're going to want to order. A really good mix of savouries and sweets. They have a cake cabinet that's going to make your mouth drool. I've got avocado on toast. It does come with a poached egg. I asked to have it without the poached egg. It's got some pomegranate on there, which I love. That toast is nice and crispy. Egg juicy out on top. Bon appetit. That sets my Aussie heart on fire. The toast is nice and crispy. Got beautiful soft inside with that good sourdough tang. Perfect avocado. That's really yummy. The capital of Northern Ireland, Belfast is a really interesting city. It rose to global prominence in the 19th and 20th centuries. That's when it was the centre of linen production, shipbuilding and engineering. And if you didn't know, they actually built the Titanic here. Construction started in 1909 and finished in 1912. Now I wondered if that was a little bit of a sore spot for the Irish, but with that classic Irish wit and charm. I saw someone say something funny about it on TikTok. The guy said, look, we may have built the Titanic, but we didn't build icebergs. So that one's not on us, and that really cracked me up. I think my first impression of Belfast, it's beautiful. There's so much cool food. It has a real vibe about it. It feels so artsy and young and fresh and vibrant and colourful. And I just love walking around exploring. I thought it was high time we got cultured. So I popped into the MAC, a beautiful museum, art gallery kind of thing behind me. A few people had really raved about it. I'm a bit disappointed. I don't like to say it, don't like to be negative. I think it's worth going in to see the inside of the building if you happen to be walking past, but I had thought there would maybe be a little bit more to see in there, and there really wasn't. Oh, I feel bad. What can I say to uplift that and end that on a positive note? The building is really, really beautiful. Got the car out of the parking garage. I want to go to the botanical garden to see something called the Palm House. It is 3:30 and it closes at 4. I don't know if they're going to let me in or not, but we're going to find out when we get there. It better be worth it. It better be worth it because I am murdering through the streets of Belfast. I'm here, I've tried to park, I've tried to pay. The frustration is killing me. You can't make a payment with a card through the payment machine. Like there is a card slot, but they blocked it up. Not allowed, so you have to have cash. Of course I have no cash. Download the app. I download the app. I sign up for the account. I verify my identity. I enter the card details. I have to verify the card details one more time with a text to my Australian number. I do it. And guess what? Error. Error! I did that 3 times. Let's see if I can get a street park literally anywhere else. We're never gonna make it. We've got 15 minutes until this thing closes. unsurprisingly, we did not make it in time. The old palm garden thing is closed, but the actual botanical garden is open. Oh, puppies. So I thought we would take a little walk around the gardens and just have a little explore. It's super overcast. The rain started and then stopped, but I have to imagine on a blue sky day it would be magnificent in here. The wildflowers are just stunning. When I was planning my whole Ireland trip, I had originally planned 3 nights in Dublin and 3 nights in Belfast, and that was it. And I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I pushed and made the effort to do the road trip. It has opened this whole country up to me, and it's made me want to see even more of Ireland. There's the Ring of Kerry and so much more in the south that I would love to see. So many more places up here in the north that I want to see as well. This has just whet my appetite for this whole area. And I think if I really reflect on that plan to stay 3 nights in Belfast, that would have been too long here. It would have been fine for me to arrive in Belfast, have 1 full day here and spend 1 full night here. That would have been more than enough. I feel like I've seen and done some of the major highlights. I did miss the Titanic museum thing. That's not for me. And maybe it would be great to do a guided tour and have a local take you deeper into it. I feel like I've just skimmed the surface and seen like the very surface level things. So if you're from Belfast or you've been here and you have some great recommendations, I would love if you would put those in the comment section of this video for us. That way I'll have a really well-rounded itinerary when I come back next time, and anyone else watching this can pick those tips up for themselves. But yeah, I've just had the best time driving around Ireland. I can't recommend a road trip highly enough. This whole experience has been amazing for me, and I'm gonna have a whole bunch of links in the video description for you so you can plan your own trip like this and have a great time too. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. And with that brings this week's episode and our time in Ireland to a close. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now, if you don't already, be sure to subscribe right now so you never miss a single episode, and say hello in the comments below. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you with a brand new episode in a brand new country next week. You know I love ya.